Look what we got. Hey guys, this is Joe Tech from JoeteckTips on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And today we have the Liqmax, I can't even say it, LIQMAX III. And pretty much I bought it for the Intel. I have an 8700K. I bought my friend a 9900K to replace his 87. He gave me the 87. So I built a Leon Lee computer, PC that it's the dynamic 011 case, all white as well. And I wanted to do an all white chassis, you know, all white chassis, all white build, except for the motherboard, obviously. The motherboard is a Gigabyte Z390 Aorus Elite. And we have white RAM modules in it as well. So this is going to be a complete white build. And I wanted to do this. So we're going to do an unboxing and check this out and install it and check out the cooling capabilities of this thing. And this will work. I'm just reading off the box because I don't know all the details. This will work with an Intel LGA 2066, 2011-3, 2011, 1366, 1200, 1156, 1155, 1151, 1150. It's pretty much every Intel CPU that's available. Also AMD, AM4, AM3 Plus, AM3, AM2 Plus, AM2, FM2 Plus, FM2, and FM1. So it covers pretty much all of the AMD CPUs as well, minus the Threadripper, of course, because that's a whole different story. It has a copper base with aluminum radiator. It has ceramic bearings. 5,000 hours of mean time between failures, 3,100 RPM plus or minus 10%. The 12 volt for the pump, 0.4 amps for the pump itself, or 0.53 amps if not connected to a 3-pin ARGB LED connector, which is 5 volts, by the way. And then the dimension is 120 millimeters by 120 millimeters by 25 millimeters. This is the fan. About 50,000 hours for the fans as well. And they run between 500 and 1600 RPM. So this is going to be rather quiet. You're not going to hear this screaming away, which is great. Because a lot of people don't want a freaking computer that's going, and that's really freaking annoying. You want something quiet. You don't want to be hearing it, especially if you don't use headphones when you game. So these are 12 volt fans. The maximum current rating on these bad boys is 0.17 amps. So, you know, that's extremely awesome. Really low current draw, so the RPMs are going to be low. The fans are at, the RGB lighting is 5 volts. And that's at 0.36 amps. I'm only telling you these details just in case you need it. The airflow is between 22.5 to 72.1 cubic feet per minute. That's not bad. So it's 1600 RPM. It does 72.1 cubic feet per minute. And at 500 RPM, it does 22.5 cubic feet per minute. All right. Static air pressure is between 0.2 and 1.98 mm H2O, and the noise level is between 14 to 27 dB. So that's really cool. The connector is 4-pin PWM connector, so it actually does all 4 pins on it versus just 3-pin fan, which is great because all motherboards do 4. And the RGB connector for 5 volts is 3-pin. And without further ado, let's open this bad boy up and get to it. So let's do this. And we're going to do the installation of this as well, which is key. I'm extremely excited about this because I want, without making more noise, I'm extremely excited about this because I've been waiting to finish this build because this case is freaking tremendous. Now, I did buy another CPU fan for that build, but this is actually too tall and it surpasses the width of the depth of the interior of the case. So even though it's wider, it's actually set. It's not really quite the back of the, or the bottom of the case is not the whole thing, which is unique. So anyway, let's get, so this is an Enermax. We got the manual, we got the, obviously that, and wow, holy shit. Here we go, there's the pure white fans. There's 3 of them. I like this. This is nice. See, now this has an incredible amount of hose. So we can mount this pretty much anywhere we want in this case. So we have plenty of room to mount this. We can put it on top, and then if the case is, you know, we can mount it like this. If you want to mount the cooler, the radiator on top, we're going to probably mount it like this and then put it like this. So we're going to probably do this type of mount, because inside of the case it's going to be, well, if you're looking at it, it'll be like this, most likely. So we'll set it up. So this will be on the far left, and then we have the cooler, and it'll be really nice. Look at that copper base, but we still got the plastic on it, so hang on. This is, and remember, this is all RGB. So this is also going to be pretty sick looking once we power this up. I did also get an LED do-it-yourself 5-fan kit. So that's in addition to the LED fans that we have here. So look at that copper. That is sick. That is super nice. And don't forget to take that plastic piece off that's on there before you mount it, because you're not going to get good thermal transfer at all. So this is nice. This is, oh, you can hear the water, which is great, or whatever coolant they have inside of here. Here is the RGB connector, 3-pin, what they said. And where else is the other connectors here for power? There's got to be something else. Unless this is the, maybe this is not the RGB, maybe this is the pump they were talking about. I didn't look at anything else. So let's continue doing the unboxing. That's nice, I like that. And here are all the brackets and cabling for everything else. So without further ado, let's get this bad boy installed. Alright, so this is the case. And you can clearly see, this is absolutely a gorgeous case. I didn't do a review on this yet, but it's unbelievably incredible. This is what it looks like in the front. I didn't take any of the plastic off yet, because I'm not done with the build. I want to make sure I don't scratch anything. But as you can see, that's the inside of it. And there's that other cooler that I threw in there temporarily just so I can do the installation. As you can see, the other LEDs are there as well, but they're black. So it's going to look a little interesting when we're done. I must say, it's extremely complicated to install this cooler. So the problem that I'm having right now is that these screw pins that are going through this bracket is, you can't install it on a motherboard that is already installed on a case. That's what I'm finding right now. Because these screws that you have to put through the bracket will come out when you stick it in on the board. So what I'm recommending that you do is get some shipping tape and hold them on. So what I'm going to do here is just to hold them from falling off, like what they just did now. So in other words, I'm just going to put a piece of tape here like so, hold it from falling out like that. This is actually more complicated than I expected, to be honest with you, because you can't hold it in. You can't hold it in the back of the computer, of the motherboard where the holes are, and then put the heatsink, put the cooler on, because you have to put these 4 spaces on at the same time. Then you have to have this whole thing mounted, ready to go, before you actually attempt to put the cooler on the CPU, because it won't work. So you have to have all this stuff done prior because it's never going to stay on. And I find that a little disheartening, because it's actually, and I've been doing this stuff for a long time, I've never seen a cooler this complicated. My H100i was super easy. The back never came off because it was screwed to the board. This, you can't do that. So I'm finding it extremely difficult to install. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount all the fans in the direction how I'm going to put it in, and then I'm going to do this part last. She is now finally installed. This took, I mean, I can't say enough of elbow grease to get this in. It's very, very complicated if you have it already installed in the case, the motherboard. You need to put pressure on the back screws. They do not hold in. The wafers that come with it, or the you know what's really funny? I actually forgot to put in these standoff things on it, and it actually work better. I find it having better coverage on the CPU than this, because the screws have a limited amount of pull anyway. So if there was a problem of not having enough pull, these little washers or tube washers would get in the way. So I didn't put them on. Technically I forgot them, but it actually works better without it. So that said, the Enermax, I'm telling you right now, if you were thinking about getting this cooler, you might want to go to a different route. Yes, it cools amazing, absolutely amazing. I actually overclocked this CPU to to 4.4 gigahertz without any changes to voltage. I did it. I gave it a stress test. It only hit about 55 to 59 C on all 6 cores, 12 cores. It's 12 thread CPU, but it's actually a 6-core CPU, 8700K. Just so you're aware, this is a Lion Lee 011 dynamic case. Beautiful case. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. I like the fact that you can actually hide the power supply away and all the wires and stuff. This is not a modular power supply. It is a PC power and cooling 750 watt, and it's a mess on the back side. But as you can clearly see, it's absolutely gorgeous on the inside. No wires or nothing. Super clean install. This has the GTX 1080 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM, and it works. I had the extra power supply floating around. Power supplies nowadays are very expensive. So anyway, if you were thinking, I mean, I cursed this thing out like there's no tomorrow, because it never took me hours to put in a cooler. This is the worst cooler I've ever seen. I'm going to continue trying to get it on, but if I'm having this kind of difficulty, I'm just going to return this thing. I'm in awe. I thought this thing was going to be great. It's the biggest piece of crap. All the reviews on Amazon are fake. There's no way in hell people got this installed. It's so complicated, it's not even funny. It's ridiculous. And I'm telling you the truth, I've been doing this for years. I've been doing IT for 35 years. This is the worst fucking cooler. Hands fucking down. Stay clear of this biggest piece of shit that I've ever seen. The radiator and everything and the fans were easy peasy. The LED information, the LED connections were easy peasy. It was simple. The power for the fans was simple. It was easy. The cool part about it is that I have a fan controller in here that accommodates the RGB of this cooler. However, it doesn't seem to be communicating properly with the fans. You might want to use the motherboard perhaps to control it. I'm not, you know, the LEDs are kind of cool. I just wish they all would stay the same color. Sometimes they didn't, sometimes they did. So either it even comes with a cable to allow you to use the if you have a Gigabyte motherboard. This says 2 GB digital header VDG header, and this goes directly to it, you know, from the motherboard to the fans, for the RGB fans. So I didn't try that because I didn't find a 3-pin header. I only found a I found a 3-pin header, but it's 4 and the 1 is missing. So it's like this. This is 3 in a row. So I'm not really quite sure how this is going to work on a Gigabyte board. And this is a, you know, a Z390. I didn't see any 3-pin anyway. Anyway, I'm rambling. Is it a great cooler? After you strong arm the freaking thing and put it in, it's absolutely amazing. When I left everything stock, idle was like 29C, 27C. At full load, it was like 53C, 55C, and I beat the bejesus out of it. I did a stress test with CPU-Z, and I got it around 54, 50, you know, 55C max on all cores, and that was impressive. So that said, I'm going to give you honest reviews. That's all I'm going to do. Is it a good cooler? Yes. Is it a bitch to install? Absolutely. It's just, I would like to have something simple. If you have a larger Intel CPU, these standoffs screw into the installation, and these don't move. So when you install a CPU that is larger from Intel, like the 2011, 2011-3, and the 2066, then this is an awesome cooler. It'll be installed very easily because the standoffs are not going to move. This thing goes through the holes from the back, and you have no way to secure it from falling back out off the board. And that was the problem, because when you put pressure on one screw, then the back plate tends to bend a little bit and go out of whack, and it's just a freaking nightmare. It took forever. So if you have patience, and you need a lot of patience to install this freaking thing, then buy it. If you don't have any patience, and this is like one of your new builds, whatever, stay clear of this. Buy something that's much easier to install. This was a big pain in the ass. However, once it was installed, cooling capabilities was impeccable. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you want to join JoeteckTips as well. We have that option. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Liqmax, I can't even say it. Liqmax 3?